Hello and welcome to Cinder Shadow Gaming. I'm your host, Cinder Shadow, and today we've got a story that came out of over the weekend about Noah Bradley and the aftermath of that. Noah Bradley is a prominent MTG artist, or Magic the Gathering artist, much on the same level as Therese Nielsen. This story broke over the weekend. It's very interesting. But some notable cards that Noah Bradley has done is like History Benalia. They've done Horizon Canopy. They've done a few lands. They've done Karn's Temporal Sundering, Approach of the Second Sun, Leyline of Sanctity, Leyline of the Void. There is a ton of cards, and their artwork is prominent in the Magic the Gathering world. But over the weekend, Noah put out a tweet with a letter of apology saying that they were terrible to women, that they would get drunk, hit on them, do whatever possible to get them into bed and all this other stuff. And I was like, what? Where in the world did this come out of? The letter goes on to say that he's been cruel, insensitive in the way they acted, and that people called him out on this inappropriate bad behavior. And I sit there and I read this letter and go, what happened? We don't know any of the details. And there's been stuff like this kind of in the past, and it's created this divide in the community. And I gotta, the worst of the worst that I have to say with seeing this letter come out is people coming out and literally saying, this is stunning and brave that you're admitting this. And no, this is one of those steps that you take to try and mitigate the damage that may be oncoming. Or it's a very, very narcissistic look at the world and at yourself, and yet there's more mental problems and a mental breakdown with yourself. Now, it's sparking somewhat of an outrage, but it's not like the Therese Nielsen bit where she followed a few conservative bodies on Twitter. That in itself is that's completely different compared to this scenario. The Noah Bradley, I had no clue of what he did outside of the Magic community and how he reacted. He is married even, and it just seems very interesting and very strange that this came out at whatever time. On top of this, it seems there was, in the same time span, this is just an offshoot, very strange coincidence that came out where some streamers on Mixer and Twitch and all this other stuff got ousted as being this type of predatory, bad behavior sort of instance of being drunk and treating women without respect. It's a very strange time, and everything that followed it was very, very weird, I gotta say. Like, this is like Twilight Zone weird to me. But on top of that, there's some things about this 48 Laws of Power, some self-help non-fiction book that was put out, I'm guessing by a psychologist, and it's talking about really strange ways to manipulate people and everything like this. So this is starting to really stack up as a level of manipulation on a completely different level than what I would ever really want to see. But it's also sparked another outrage, and that outrage is people saying that there shouldn't be drinking at Magic the Gathering events. And I went, what? How in the world is this related to drinking at a Magic the Gathering event? That, to me, that's something completely out of the norm. That's I don't go to a Magic the Gathering event to drink. I go to a Magic the Gathering event to play Magic. If you happen to have an LGS that is a bar, then you're going there, you're having a couple beers and playing the game and having fun. And to me, that's a downtime that's relaxing and everything like that. There's people that are telling me that these Magic Fests and these conventions are at a next level where like a lot of the people are actually drunk or high, and they're hitting on the women there, and they're playing Magic the Gathering, and I'm like, there is no way in the world this is happening. We had someone come out and actually say that these events are filled with this, and they need to get rid of the alcohol and absolutely stop this all entirely. And this is stemming from the Noah Bradley letter, and I'm like, this seems really like a deflection from what was really going on. We have Noah Bradley coming out saying that they're a predator on women, and now we have people saying, instead of disavowing that or saying that that's bad behavior, they're saying all drinking should be completely banned and illegal from events. And I'm like, this... I've got an apple and I have an orange. What? It makes absolutely no sense in my head. If you're going to a Magic Fest, go with the intention to play Magic the Gathering. There is, after the fact, where people do get together and maybe go party or do something like that, especially if you're doing like a Magic Fest in Vegas. You're going to go out, you're going to see the strip, you're going to have a lot of fun. But I gotta say, these big time events are very grueling for players, and a lot of cases, if you're going there for that, you're not necessarily going out and getting drunk or anything of that sort, because you're trying to play to the best of your ability, and that kind of defeats the purpose. If you're going to these places as a vacation and whatnot, and that, like, then you're not really going there to play Magic the Gathering. It just, the mindset to me is completely different from what there really is, and it just makes a very strange tie-in between getting drunk and playing Magic the Gathering. If you are playing the game Magic the Gathering with your friends around a kitchen table, there's no reason not to have a beer and have a few drinks and enjoy yourself, because that's a very casual and relaxed way to play the game. If you're playing at a high-level event, you're not doing that. I can tell you right now, you're not doing that, and it's par for the course. Now, does this mean there aren't people that have a problem with needing to wake up and have a drink and go out to be able to function in normal society? No, this does exist. It's called alcoholism. And if you're having to do that, I do suggest you try and seek a little bit of help to try and overcome that demon, because ultimately that demon is going to weigh you so much more down. You're not going to be able to play these games to the best of your ability, and unfortunately that's going to be the downfall of not being able to play those games, and it's just going to wind up being a bad scenario. With the Noah Bradley situation, to me, it just screamed like a narcissistic disorder, especially after trying to look into it. I went onto the guy's art page, and there is him and his wife posing there in different shapes, and this is how he's drawing his Magic the Gathering cards and stuff like that. And he does it as a modeling way, but at the same time, to me, it's a very narcissistic way to show off how you're being, and it's kind of, even in this 48 powers to power laws or whatever it is, they talk about looking in the mirror and trying to strive and be, it's a real, like, narcissistic way to look at the world, and it's not in a clear lens. It's in a lens that only you are seeing. I'm not a psychologist. It's really hard for me to actually tell you how this is looking, but to me, it's just absolutely out there, and it doesn't make any sense. With the drinking aspect, though, in Magic the Gathering, I don't see it. I go to an LGS, there's maybe 20 people that show up. Maybe one or two of them have had some smoke of the green stuff before the event or during it, but that's on them. It ultimately is not going to make or break a casual event type of event. If you're going to like Magic Fest and stuff like that, there's rumors that people do like Adderall to be able to see more things and be able to focus more clearly, and that's a totally different scenario. That's like doping in sports and everything like that. That's the way I relate that. It happens, it's bad, it's not going to prolong you, and if you having to do that for a Magic the Gathering game, it's not really going to get you ahead at the game, because ultimately, how much are the pros really making? They don't make that much doing Magic the Gathering, and they have to sacrifice way more than they gain to do those contracts and everything like that. So ultimately, to be a Magic the Gathering pro, it's not like you're going to be the next hockey champion like Connor McDavid. It's when it comes down to Magic the Gathering, it doesn't even look close to the same. It's a completely different field. If you're having to drink to function at these events, I suggest you seek a little bit of help. With Noah Bradley, to me, it really screamed like they're doing this either as a way to reach out and get some help, or there is something pending in the pipeline that's going to come out and it's going to get all revealed. Or third option, everything's being swept under the rug and we'll never hear anything of this again. So I don't know. Those are my thoughts on this situation. It's a very strange one to me. I don't see how one and one go together here. Calling for a ban of all drinking and drugs from a Magic the Gathering event when you're going to these events to play Magic the Gathering, and then they're talking about partying afterwards. It just, to me, there's too many variables, and the one key difference is, what is the event you're going to? If you personally are going to that event and you're seeing that that's the toxicity of that event, where people are just getting drunk or hammered and stuff like that, you're not at a Magic the Gathering event, you're at a party. And that's the big difference here. I don't know. Let me know down below maybe what you guys thought of it. I don't know where to go with this one. It's kind of a very strange scenario. It's bad behavior. It's really, really saddening to see another Magic the Gathering artist. And in this case, it looks like a very self-destructive scenario, unlike the Therese Nielsen situation, where she's getting witch hunted for absolutely nothing that she's done. Liking and retweeting and retweet is just, that's all it is. It does not mean you endorse that. It's completely different and has a political aspect to it that I don't think belongs in a round when we're trying to play our games or be a Magic the Gathering artist or anything like that. But this Noah Bradley situation, it's completely different. I don't know where to go. It's bad behavior. I don't see this ending out well for Noah Bradley. I really believe this is a self-destructive move. And, please find help if you are in a situation like this. If you need to find help, please seek out that help and do better. It's not the type of behavior that anyone is going to condone, and we all know that. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching this video. This is my thoughts on the little bit of a situation with more Magic the Gathering artists. It's starting to become a trend, and I hope it doesn't continue, because I want to enjoy the game and not have to sit there and talk about the downfall of Magic the Gathering artists. Have yourselves a great day, and we will see you next time. Thank you for watching this video, and so everyone is aware, I do have a Patreon set up with a tier as low as $1. So if you want to support me in any way, that is one of the best ways to do it, especially in the uncertain times that we have right now. On top of that, I also have a Teespring set up with the logoed merchandise of the hoodie on a mug or on a t-shirt if you guys want to support there too. The links will be in the description below.